Really?
Really. So you did very well on your $35.
No wonder they went out of business.
Yes, if they were charging.
Our guest, a former production designer in Hollywood, purchased the vase from a prop house going out of business about 10 to 12 years ago. This vase was used in several films and commercials, including possibly in the movie Volcano. Our guest acquired the vase for $35, finding it to be a fair price. The vase is marked Made in France on the bottom and has additional identifying numbers from the prop house. The appraiser identified the vase as a piece of hand-carved cased glass with a clear body and
A clear body, and it's been cased with a pink model pink cover over the top of it.
the pattern was cut away, showcasing the craftsmanship. At auction, a vase like this with its unique history would be valued at
Go for $3,000 to $3,500.
Really?
Really. So you did very well on your $35.
No wonder they went out of business.
Yes, if they were charging.
Really?
Yeah, really. I mean, it's a very rare.
This Kewpie doll was passed down through the guest husband's family from his grandmother to her daughter and then to the guest. Our guest is fond of the doll and wants to know more about it. The appraiser identified it as a Kewpie doll designed by Rose O'Neill, made between 1913 and the 1920s. This specific Kewpie is an action Kewpie, featuring a Kewpie with two baby Kewpies, likely
Porcelain may be made by a company called Hertwig, which was a German company that produced lots of nice little novelty figures.
The appraiser pointed out the blue wings on the back, a characteristic of authentic Kewpies. Originally a novelty item for children, it would have cost 25 to 50 cents when new. In its good condition, this rare action Kewpie is now valued at
Between $4,000 and $5,000.
Really?
Yeah, really. I mean, it's a very rare.
Dollars. Wow. That's wonderful.
Guest got this light fixture with the house when they bought it. It was made by Tiffany Studios. These are Tiffany glass pieces in metal frames held together by sturdy links. Links attached to this original cap with double wire. Everything is in 100% original condition, including the original cap, chain, and ceiling cap, all authentic Tiffany. Patterned in the glass is called chainmail. Tiffany was inspired by Moorish designs for these fixtures. In a retail gallery, this would sell for
$20,000 and
Oh
$25,000.
my gosh. Wow. That's wonderful.
Our guest received this item as a gift from her mother, who purchased it in Mexico after World War II. The appraiser identified the piece as an iconic William Spratling design. This design features hands clasping carved amethyst tulips and a distinctive chain clasp in the back. Although the piece is characteristic of William Spratling's work from the 1940s, it lacks his hallmark. This absence of a hallmark suggests it might be pre-marked jewelry.
I think it made it out of the door the wrong way.
Okay, before it was completely finished.
Exactly. It missed the marking period.
Okay.
By the 1940s, William Spratling had around 400 silversmiths in his studios, increasing the chances of pieces leaving unmarked. At auction, the set is estimated to bring
$800 to $1,000.
Oh my goodness. Oh, gracious. Oh.
Now, if it had stuck around the studio a little bit longer and gotten marked by William Spratling,
Right.
we would put an auction estimate of $2,000 to $3,000.
Oh my goodness.
This extensive memorabilia archive belonged to the guest's grandfather, Walter Grothe. Walter Grothe was a renowned steam engine race car driver for the White Steam Car Company, boasting an impressive collection of trophies earned throughout his illustrious racing career. He won this trophy as a first prize for a car race in 1903. The guest also brought along his automobile permit, which detailed information about him, including his height, weight, and instructions about when he could be on the racing track. The appraiser also revealed the interesting fact that Walter Grothe not only participated in the race, but also emerged as the victor. He was the only car racer to complete the track at Ingleside Park, a short-lived circuit, 1895 to 1906, that was destroyed in an earthquake. The appraiser mentioned that the White Steam Car Company was quite expensive back then, producing 9,122 steam cars. One of these cars sold for $2,500 to $3,700 at a time when people typically earned only $5 to $10 a day. There were a lot of other items in the archive as well, and the guest estimated its insurance value to be
$2,000 on the trophy alone, maybe even $2,500.
A historically significant manuscript of the Star-Spangled Banner from 1917 was presented, stemming from an effort to standardize the national anthem as requested by President Woodrow Wilson. The task was undertaken by 5 distinguished musicians: Walter Damrosch, Doc Earhart, John Philip Sousa, Oscar Gantvort, and O.G. Sonic. Each of them contributed their interpretation of the anthem, and a final version was selected through vote collection. The manuscript in question was gifted to the guest father by Dr. Gantvort, one of the 5 appointed musicians. This personal connection adds a layer of historical and sentimental value to the document. While it's uncertain if each contributor kept a copy, this manuscript, at auction, is valued at
in the $10,000 to $15,000 range.
Wonderful.
A guest presented a silver tea service that was a wedding present to her great-great-grandmother. The appraiser disclosed that the tea service was sold by Hyde and Goodrich, a prestigious retailer in New Orleans. The item was crafted by a local New Orleans silversmith firm known as Kutchler and Himmel. The base of the sugar bowl bore a mark from the firm, suggesting they produced the entire set for Hyde and Goodrich. The particular set featured beautiful grape leaves and vine designs. Moreover, it exhibited intricate detailing and was in pristine condition. The appraiser noted it was missing a finial and had a few dents, which could be repaired to increase its value. The rare and valuable piece's estimated value was
$10,000 and $15,000.
Oh my God.
The guest showcased a painting which belonged to his mother, who was an art collector. She purchased the item in the mid-1960s for about $1,000. The appraiser meticulously examined the artwork, marveling at its dramatic scale. The remarkable piece depicted a man in luxurious fabric seated on a circular stool. The man was examining scriptures with ancient bronze vessels nearby. The atmospheric setting was enriched by intricate details like coral beads adorning a hand, showcasing the captivating interplay of colors. Moreover, the background, featuring bamboo, added to the painting's striking composition. Despite lacking a signature, the appraiser dated it back to the early Ming Dynasty, around the 14th or 15th century. Given its rarity and historical significance in the Chinese art market, the value suggested was
$40,000 to $60,000 in an auction sale.
That's great.
We are presented with an old archive of items from the Klondike Gold Rush. This guest came into possession of the collection from her mother's great-great-grandfather's brother. The gold rush started when the discovery was made public in 1897 in San Francisco.
Now there was gold found in Alaska. Your great-great-uncle would have been part of that stampede.
Included in the archive is a map with markings of the Klondike region where the gold was discovered. There's also a diary, and contained within its yellow pages are accounts of day-to-day activities on the quest for gold. Lastly, there's an old photograph from that time showing a cabin where the guest's ancestor stayed during the gold rush. Altogether, this archive has historical significance to American history. At auction, it is estimated to be worth
$3,000 to $5,000 range.
Okay. Wow. Oh, amazing.
It is amazing.
A guest brought in a jewelry box that had been inherited by her daughter. The box had originally belonged to the daughter's stepmother, who had died. The guest was curious about the box's origin and wondered where it had been made. The appraiser determined that the box had been crafted in Austria using burled walnut and brass fittings. Additionally, the box was in the Art Nouveau style, dating from between 1890 and 1910. They noted that despite its travels and exposure to various weather changes, the box was in excellent condition. The piece's detailed panels depicted scenes from Grimm's fairy tales, including Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, Hansel and Gretel, Puss in Boots, and the Six Swans. The interior of the box was fitted and well preserved, making it a phenomenal piece of artistry. The remarkable and exquisite piece was valued at
$3,000 and $5,000.
Wow. Oh, amazing.
It is amazing.
Our guest's grandmother received this ring from the guest's grandfather as an engagement present when they married in 1915. The guest thinks the ring features a canary diamond and is made of platinum, but it has never been appraised. Appraiser explains that canary is an outdated term, and the diamond is
a fancy, intense yellow color diamond.
The value of the diamond is determined by its saturation of yellow. This diamond is estimated to be about a half a carat based on its millimeter gauge. The ring has detailed platinum work, popular around the time of their marriage in 1915. Our guest shares that the grandparents might have connections to Spokane, Georgetown, and
in medical school at Harvard, so I'm not sure if that had any influence where he bought it or not.
The appraiser notes that the ring likely comes from a fine East Coast jeweler, though it is unsigned. This ring's fine platinum work and garland motif add to its value. The appraiser estimates the ring's auction value to be at
$4,000 and $6,000.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. Beautiful.
Yeah.
The guest purchased this crock from a woman in a park who had nothing else to store water in, so the guest offered her $10 to buy a bucket, and in exchange, she gave the guest this crock. The appraiser identified it as a piece from Thompson's and Williams, a small pottery partnership in Morgantown, West Virginia, that lasted only about 3 years, from 1875 to 1878. This was a rare 20-gallon crock, one of only a few made, and it was not easy to produce. There were a few signs of damage, but the crock had survived remarkably well. The top area was also slightly sagged, but overall the crock was still in usable condition. The appraiser and guest discussed that the crock was originally made for storage purposes and was also used for making and storing pickles. Typically, the value of these crocks depends on several factors, including their age, condition, and decorative elements. This crock was in fair condition, featuring heavily painted decoration. The rarity of this crock was a significant factor in determining its value, which amounted to
At least $3,000.
Oh, boy. Thank you. Oh, you're kidding me. Oh, my gosh, really?
This guest bought this piece of jewelry at an auction 20 years ago.
About 20 years ago, my husband and I were in New Orleans. I love the auction houses, and we happened to walk by, and I saw a baroness was having a bunch of her pieces.
This is a ring with a European cut diamond. The diamond has an older European cut and weighs about 5.80 carats. The color grade is K. All these factors add up to make this stone a VS2 diamond.
So we're going to call it a VS2, though I do believe it's a better quality stone.
The intricate design and timeless beauty of the ring captivate all who see it. It's a true testament to the craftsmanship and elegance of a bygone era. Preserved in excellent condition, this unique piece of jewelry is worth at least
$130,000.
Oh, you're kidding me. Oh my gosh, really?
The guest inherited this Fender Telecaster from his father, who had a fondness for country and French music. He also brought the albums that his father loved and used to play on his guitar. The appraiser spoke about the manufacturer, Leo Fender, often regarded as the father of modern musical instruments, particularly the electric guitar. This guitar boasted all the classic features of Leo Fender's guitars from the 1950s, but what made it unique was that it was a left-handed model. Typically, the company mostly produced right-handed guitars. It had a rare black pickguard on the body, and the slotted head screws were positioned on different sides than usual, indicating that it was one of the earlier designs by Fender. The initials on the guitar suggested that it was crafted by Thaddeus Gomez in the 1950s, possibly marking it as the first left-handed guitar produced in that batch by the company. The condition of the guitar suggested it had been well used, with some cracks, minor touch-ups, and a missing switch tip. The appraiser commended the piece, and much to the guest's astonishment, he valued it at
Given the condition missing its case, I'd value this at $30,000 to $35,000.
Wow.
She brought a china-headed doll and a bear, gifts from her mother who passed away when she was 7. The 1919 Armand Marseille Dream Baby doll showcases exquisite German craftsmanship. These dolls have bisque heads, closed mouths, and sleep eyes. These dolls evoke nostalgia with their serene expressions and delicate features. Her bear had a button in its ear bearing Steiff and a double underlined F. Margaret Steiff, the bear's designer, had polio at 18 months in 1847. Mohair-made bears stuffed with wood wool usually have glass eyes and fully jointed limbs. With delicate porcelain features and lifelike eyes, the appraiser valued the AM Dream Baby doll
Around $125 to $150.
And for the bear, with an awe for its craftsmanship, the appraiser valued the item
$900 and $1,200. If it is a white that has discolored with time.
Really? Oh my goodness. That's fun. Oh, that's exciting.
This peculiar artifact was inherited by the guest from her mother.
It's in a small bookstore on the mall in Lahore, and I loved it, and I didn't buy it the first time I saw it.
This figurine is of Chinese origin. It is made of white jade and silver. The jade is pure white, making it highly valuable. The jade sculpture is mounted on a silver backdrop. The sculpture is a depiction of the Buddha goddess Guan Yin, the goddess of mercy. This piece was made in the late 19th century and holds significant value to Buddhist worshippers, estimating a value of
Right now, between probably $7,000 and $10,000.
Really? Oh my goodness. That's fun. Oh, that's exciting.
A glance at this book would make you think you're looking at a sacred text.
We exchanged Christmas gifts. I think I gave him a print or a drawing. I was an art student, and he gave me this.
However, this is a book titled The History of Magic. Opening this book exposes the reader to many beautiful illustrations, which increases its appeal. But that's not even the most amazing part of the book. The uniqueness of the book is that it was inscribed by American songwriter Jim Morrison. This History of Magic book was given to the guest as a Christmas gift. Jim had an avid interest in the occult, so this explains his reason for choosing this book.
Intellectually deep person and well-read.
Given it was signed by an icon at the time, this book would auction at
It's $8,000 to $10,000 at auction. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm surprised at that.
I am really surprised and delighted.
A beautifully painted vase featuring a baluster shape and intricate decorations was brought in. It includes an S-scroll handle in the form of a linger mushroom, symbolizing long life and good luck, as well as a wand symbol, a twin fish, and a Buddhist emblem, all representing good fortune and prosperity.
Suspended from it is what you call the swastika. Well, it's not. It's actually called a wand symbol.
This amazing vase entered the family in the 1950s as payment for electrical work from a Chinese gentleman in Washington, D.C. Though marked as from 1736 to 1795, the vase was made in the 1920s or 30s. During this period, many factory workers from the imperial kilns continued creating items in traditional styles after the fall of the last Chinese dynasty in 1911. Though it was not intended as a fake, it is a well-crafted reproduction of an 18th century design. Due to rising collector interest, the vase value has significantly increased, currently estimated to be worth
$8,000 to $12,000.
I am really surprised and delighted.
Her husband inherited the painting from his mother, who inherited it from her mother. This is the concept of view paintings, which originated in 18th century Italy with the renowned artist Canaletto. The painting bears a plaque inscribed with William Marlo. Marlo was renowned for his skillful cityscapes and seascapes. He excelled as a watercolorist and landscape painter, known for his professionalism and skill. Mid-career, Marlo visited Italy, encountering view painters, then returned to England to paint these expansive British scenes. The painting attributed to the school of William Marlo is an oil-on canvas typical of the 18th and 19th centuries. This medium enabled vibrant colors, rich textures, intricate details, typical of Marlo's works. Captivated by its timeless allure, the appraiser valued the item.
And $10,000?
This is a naval chair from the Battle of Camperdown. It was recovered from part of the Dutch fleet led by Vice Admiral Jan Willem de Winter. The battle was the most significant action between British and Dutch forces during the French Revolutionary Wars, resulting in a complete victory for the British. The chair is made from oak wood and is deeply carved.
Cannons, cannonballs on the side. This wonderful British fouled anchor, which is pretty typical of insignia from the British fleet around the 18th century. And this is made of oak.
It is made in a Regency style, referring to when Prince George was Regent of England, dating back to the early 19th century. It bears several designs and embellishments which add to its value, summing up to
$3,000 to $5,000, with the expectation that you get the right people in there and it could go as high as 10. So I would say 3 to 5 conservatively, with great upward potential.
This magnificent silver piece holds a significant historical and sentimental value for its current owner. Passed down through generations, it is attributed to the renowned artist Ilya Schor, a name deeply intertwined with the family's legacy. Schor's artistic prowess spanned various mediums, including woodcuts, painting, silver, gold, and sculpture, with a predominant focus on Eastern European Judaica themes. This piece under discussion, a sizable silver creation marked Paris, stands as one of Schor's largest works known to the appraiser. While Schor's career was tragically cut short with his untimely death in 1961, his artistic contributions were swiftly recognized posthumously, earning him acclaim as a leading American Judaic metalworker and artist. Crafted with intricate cutwork depicting scenes from shtetl life, the piece bears witness to Schor's exceptional skill and artistic vision. Despite lacking a specific ceremonial or ritualistic purpose, its design captivates with its romanticized portrayal of Jewish themes. Given the rarity and uniqueness of the piece, the appraisers suggest an auction estimate between
$100,000 and $150,000.
Oh my goodness.
While the owner expressed no intention to part with the piece, the appraisal served as a reaffirmation of its remarkable value and legacy within the family's possession. Our guest purchased a handmade, plantation-made chair for $25 because they thought it looked cool. The seller mentioned the chair might be plantation-made from across the river. The appraiser found the chair very interesting and appreciated its old.
I love this old surface. It's really captured the history of this chair in a very untouched, pure sense.
It is a vernacular chair, very rural and non-cosmopolitan. The chair is a typical ladderback chair with thumb-back styles. It has 3 distinguishing features: turned arms, tall front legs with
mushroom caps, and you can see the wear on these handles.
When turned over, it's clear the arms were capped on, likely to avoid wasting wood. This chair is made from mixed woods, including cypress, birch, oak, and poplar. The upholstery stuffing is Spanish moss, indicating southern origins. And the appraiser suspects the seat is a later addition, originally having a rush seat with 1 rung on each side. The chair dates from roughly 1820 to 1840, making it around 100 years old. If confirmed to be from Louisiana, it could be worth
$100 to $300 chair to perhaps a $3,000 to $5,000 chair at auction.
After art school, he worked for Karl Bernhard, Lucian's son, declining Lucian's monetary offer for favors and accepting only a portfolio. Lucian Bernhard, a renowned German graphic designer, created iconic posters in the early 20th century. These artworks demonstrate his profound influence on graphic design and typography, with 36 personally crafted typefaces. For Priester Matches, it's his debut object poster, hailed as one of Bernhard's sac-placat-style masterpieces. Here is Excelsior Tires, a gouache painting featuring the artist's signature in the lower left corner. This one is a study for a Bleichert Conveyors poster featuring the artist's signature in the upper left corner. Bernhard's Manoli Cigarettes posters feature bold design with minimalistic imagery and text. Biscott's Ron is a brand of toasted bread made by the Ron Company. Bernhard's period artworks are highly sought after by collectors and museums. With its unique design of posters, the appraiser valued the item
$20,000 to $30,000.
An intricately carved paintbrush pot depicting scholars and a mountainous landscape was brought in, believed to be from the mid-1800s during the Ming Dynasty. This piece features deeply carved three-dimensional figures, including scholars meeting to drink and write poetry, set amidst a detailed scene with pine trees, creepers, and a stream running through the landscape.
You've got a stream running through here, going under a bridge and going in and out of the landscape, disappearing and reappearing again.
It was crafted from Huon Huali wood, renowned for its quality in creating fine objects. This incredible item, owned for over 50 years by the guest, was purchased during a holiday in Lewes, England. Intricately carved, this paintbrush pot has faithfully served its original purpose of holding paintbrushes. Beautiful pot, originally bought for a modest sum, holds significant value today, which is
50 pence today in a sale in the right place would be £5,000. Really? Really.
The guest received these beautiful jewels from her boyfriend as a gift, but she was unsure if they're real diamonds. The appraiser, upon examination, identified these elegant ruby earrings as a pair of cufflinks. Crafted in the 1950s, these intriguing earrings were designed with meticulous attention to detail, with one specifically crafted for the left ear and its counterpart tailored for the right ear. A Rolex watch from the 1920s and a brooch adorned with Levy diamonds from 1925 turned out to be authentic, much to everyone's surprise and delight. In a moment of choice, the guest selected her favorite ring, while the appraiser chose her preferred sapphire flag, each drawn to their own unique appeal amidst the array of treasures. The appraiser unveiled the two most prized possessions from the collection, the flag and a brooch.
£3,000 to £4,000.
Golly.
I would be looking at around about £3,000.
Wow.
The appraiser estimated the value of this whole collection to be
£13,000 to £15,000.
Wow. Well, that's a very nice price.
Our guest brought a large tile panel that was found hanging over the fireplace when they bought their house 5 years ago. This panel has caster wheels, allowing it to move back and forth.
The electrical panels and the chimney flue, that kind of thing from the fireplace.
The appraiser found this feature unique and ingenious. This panel was made by the American Encaustic Tile Company of Zanesville, Ohio, which is nearby. It's unusual for its large size and the size of the individual tiles, which are not the typical 6-inch squares. This panel is hand-painted in the Delft style, unlike the usual molded Victorian American encaustic tiles. The appraiser explained that Delft is a city in Holland known for producing blue and
mostly tin glazed in blue and white, just like this.
This small tile that comes off reveals a mark indicating AE Tile Co. for the American Encaustic Tile Company. The appraiser valued the panel at a jaw-dropping price of
At somewhere between $1,500 and $2,000.
Our guest brought in a Mickey Mouse band, believing it to be old. The appraiser confirmed that the band is indeed old, dating back to the 1930s. The appraiser pointed out the long, pointy-nosed design of Mickey, characteristic of the early versions of the character. Interestingly, the band is made in Germany, which is considered better quality compared to similar items made in Japan from that era. This band is in remarkable condition with no chips or breaks, which is rare for such items. The appraiser estimated the value of the Mickey Mouse band to be
$900 and $1,200.
Wonderful.
Thank you for bringing them in.
Wonderful.
Our guest inherited the painting from his grandmother, who found it in the attic of a house she moved into in West Hampton, New York in 1945. This painting is Dean Cornwell, an artist known for his illustrations and war pictures, especially during World War II. The appraiser confirmed the authenticity of the painting by pointing out Cornwell's signature and
Dean Cornwell, and it's dedicated to Charles, but
Dean Cornwell, originally from Kentucky, was a successful illustrator who worked with famous authors, and the painting is an oil on paper laid onto masonite, likely a study for another oil painting, and features a navigator of a bomber, indicating it was done during the 1940s during World War II. Despite some wrinkling due to the paper being laid onto board, the painting's value is estimated at
$2,500 to $4,000 range.
Really?
It is a very striking painting, and I think there is a lot of interest.
This appears to be an original Van Dyck piece. The guest purchased it at an antique shop for £400. Anthony Van Dyck was the artist responsible for creating this masterpiece. Van Dyck was a Flemish Baroque artist who became the leading court painter in England. He was best known for his portraits of the aristocracy and was an important innovator in watercolor and etching. He had a dominant influence on English portrait painting for over 150 years. It is uncertain from which period this piece was created.
An old master. It looks like a 17th century picture. It looks like something that you might think of as Van Dyck.
The frame of the piece bears his name, but there is no signature or inscription on the artwork itself. Presented in very poor condition, this piece has gathered dust over the years. After proper restoration, if it is found to be an original, what value will it accrue? Owning a piece of jewelry is never a wrong move, and that's exactly the case with this ring brought in by the guest. This ring is absolutely magnificent and has a sapphire set in a well-detailed gold band. The sapphire displays a deep blue color, which is typical of high-quality stones, and on the piece is a carving of Julius Caesar done by Castellani.
Famous jeweler working in the 19th century in Europe.
Castellani was the Italian jeweler who initiated the archaeological revival movement in the mid-19th century. This ring is highly sought after by collectors and connoisseurs of fine jewelry and would be valued at...
It's worth £5,000.
Oh my God. Wow.
A remembrance of the goodwill of humans towards fellow humans and the end of human degradation known as slavery. Today's piece is an archive from the Free Will Baptist Church, which includes a letter from a freed slave. The freed slave, whose letter is part of this archive, is Frederick Douglass. Douglass was an American born into slavery and kept in bondage until his escape at the age of 21. The letter was written by Douglass to acknowledge the help the Free Will Baptist Church had rendered him during his escape from slavery. Of importance to note is that the Free Will Baptist Church was an important abolitionist organization that agitated to end slavery in America.
The Free Will Baptists are a denomination within the Baptist Church.
This archive is titled The Centennial Record of Free Will Baptists and was published in 1881, along with a photograph of the building of the Free Will Baptist Church that was built in 1819. These archives hold significant value as their contents hold important historical information and value, and as such, they would be valued at
$55,000 to $75,000. If you...
Deep breath.
Deep breath.
Thank you.
A poignant letter from the First World War, dated October 4, 1916, was brought in. This heart-wrenching letter was addressed to a woman named Vera, in which Harry, a young soldier from the 1st Tempered Regiment, confesses his love and regrets not proposing before his death.
When I saw this, I thought it was the most moving letter I had ever seen.
Found in a suitcase of inherited memorabilia from the guest's grandmother, the letter revealed a deep, tragic story. After the grandmother's death, the letter was found alongside other mementos, including a photograph of Harry. A memory of a young soldier who never returned was a necklace given to her by her grandmother.
Gran's deathbed, she gave me this locket, and she said if it was of someone who she was engaged to.
Rich in historical and emotional value, it speaks of lost love, dashed hopes, and the profound impact of war on personal lives. It stands as a testament to a love that could have been, and the endearing memory of a young soldier's affection.
Desire forever. Yes, and she was 91 or 92 when she died.
guest brought a pair of glass-topped brown Saltman end tables purchased from a pawn shop in Hilo, Hawaii about 5 years ago. These tables were marked by Brown Saltman, a notable furniture company from California that
started their business in the early 1940s, went on through the 1950s. Brown Saltman was primarily a manufacturer.
Although the designer of these specific tables is unknown, Brown Saltman worked with many famous designers like Paul Frankel and John Keel. This table features a design reminiscent of an Asian pagoda.
And the enthusiasm for them has increased fantastically. And you have two great examples of it.
The original finish is intact, and the tables are made of bleached mahogany. Modernism collectors appreciate the excellent original condition of these tables, which are signed Brown Saltman on the bottom. Our guest purchased the tables for $55, a bargain considering their current auction value. At auction, these tables are estimated to bring about
I bring about $1,000 to $1,500.
Great, I got a good deal then.
Got a great deal.
A glance at this portrait, and you can immediately notice its beauty.
We lived in Cookham, which is where Stanley Spencer lived, and my father was his doctor, and he got to know him very well.
That's the work of the great English painter Stanley Spencer. The first feature you can notice in this painting is the crisp attention to detail. Despite being drawn on a normal canvas, it still communicates expertise. The picture was drawn in honor of the guest who was a friend to Stanley. As artists like to show their signature, this portrait is no different, bearing Stanley's signature. It resembles a modern-day portrait due to how much work was put into it. Today, with its features, this painting would auction at
£10,000 to £15,000.
Goodness me. Wow. I think we'll take it to the gallery in Cookham.
A look at this piece of furniture gives an insight into how furniture was made in the 18th century. This chest of drawers was made in Philadelphia.
And it was made in Philadelphia between probably the years of 1745 and 1760.
It represents the vast furniture-making culture of Philadelphians. The shine from the chest of drawers is really appealing and shows superior craftsmanship. The details put into the crafting of this piece of furniture are superb. The chest of drawers also features figured walnut as decoration. Another distinct feature of the furniture is its size, which is quite noticeable. Given its Philadelphian history, this furniture would auction at
of $12,000 to $18,000 on this chest.
Oh, really? On this chest? I would never have known that.